Again, I'm Donald Reed. I work for West Virginia University Extension Service. I'm a 4-H youth development agent in McDowell County, but I'm also a tobacco treatment specialist through the Mayo Clinic College of Medicine. I've spent the past decade in the mountains and the coal fields of West Virginia helping tobacco users quit this addiction. Smokeless tobacco is tobacco that is not burned. Most people chew or dip tobacco in their mouths and then they spit out the tobacco juice. Although there is a new form of spitless smokeless tobacco called snus that has been developed. Smokeless tobacco is also known as oral tobacco, chewing tobacco, spit tobacco, or commonly called dip, snuff, or snus. People in many regions and countries, including North America, Northern Europe, India, and other Asian countries, and parts of Africa have a long history of smokeless tobacco products. In West Virginia, smokeless tobacco products are almost ingrained in our culture, many times considered a rite of passage from father to son or grandfather to grandchild while hunting, fishing, or outdoor activities. Chewing tobacco, which is available as loose leaves or plugs, is often placed between the cheek and lower lip, typically towards the back of the mouth. It's either chewed or held in place, and then either the saliva is spit or swallowed. The danger of swallowing smokeless tobacco juice is there is a causal link to pancreatic cancer. Snuff, which is either finely cut or powdered tobacco, it's often sold as flavored tobacco. That is actually a loophole in the FDA regulation. We're not allowed to have flavored cigarettes, but we are allowed to have flavored smokeless tobacco. Other tobacco products may be dissolvable lozenges or strips, or snus, which is small pouches similar to tea bags of smokeless tobacco. The snuff user places a pinch or pouch of the moist snuff between the cheek and gum or behind the upper or lower lip. Some people inhale dry snuff into the nose. It's vital for us to reiterate, even though there's no smoke coming from the product, there is no safe form of tobacco. With smokeless tobacco, there are 28 cancer-causing agents. The most harmful chemicals in smokeless tobacco are formed during the growing, curing, fermenting, and aging of the tobacco. The level of tobacco-specific nitrosamines vary by product. Scientists have found that the nitrosamine level is directly related to the risk of cancer. In addition to a variety of nitrosamines, other cancer-causing substances are found in smokeless tobacco, including arsenic, which is found in rat poison, cadmium, which is found in batteries, nicotine. Nicotine is often added to increase the addiction of the tobacco product, and formaldehyde, which is embalming fluid. Smokeless tobacco has lots of effects on the body, including cancer of the esophagus, oral cancer, and pancreatic cancer. Smokeless tobacco causes other diseases and illnesses: heart disease, gum disease, oral lesions other than cancer, such as leukoplakia, often seen as the precancerous white patches in the mouth. All tobacco products, including smokeless tobacco, contain nicotine, which is highly addictive. Users of smokeless tobacco and users of cigarettes have comparable levels of nicotine in the blood. In users of smokeless tobacco, nicotine is absorbed through the mouth tissues directly into the blood, where it goes to the brain within 30 seconds. Even after the tobacco is removed from the mouth, nicotine continues to be absorbed into the bloodstream. Also, as nicotine stays in the bloodstream longer, for smokeless tobacco users than smokers. Is using smokeless tobacco less hazardous than smoking? Because all tobacco products are harmful and cause cancer, the use of all these products should be strongly discouraged by the healthcare provider. As long ago as 1986, the U.S. Surgeon General concluded there is no safe substitute for smoking cigarettes. It can cause cancer and a number of non-cancerous oral conditions that can lead to lifelong nicotine addiction and dependence. While there are multiple smokeless tobacco products, the range of risk, including nicotine addiction, do vary from product to product because of the differing levels of nicotine, carcinogens, and other toxins in the product. Should smokeless tobacco be used to help a person quit smoking? There is no scientific evidence that using smokeless tobacco can help a person quit smoking. Actually, the evidence concludes that the use of smokeless tobacco as an aid in a cessation attempt often leads to dual use of smokeless tobacco and cigarettes. Because all tobacco products are harmful and cause cancer, the use of all tobacco products is strongly discouraged. There is no safe level of tobacco use. People who use any type of tobacco product should be urged to quit. When we look at the demographics of tobacco users in West Virginia, we see that 73% of West Virginians do not use tobacco. 18% are smokers. Almost 6% are smokeless tobacco users, and almost 3% are dual users. This slide shows the adult current tobacco use by county in West Virginia. Take the time to locate your county. Now look at the prevalence rate. It's another example why, as a healthcare provider, we must help intervene with our patients. This slide shows West Virginia tobacco use. Two statistics to note. 31% of high school students have used e-cigarettes, which Dr. Fink talked about earlier. Almost 16% of high school students in West Virginia have used chewing tobacco, snuff, or dip. Look at the toll of tobacco use upon West Virginia adults. 3,800 West Virginia adults aged 35 and older die each year from a tobacco-related disease. That's 14.6 years of life lost for each tobacco user who dies prematurely. Tobacco also has a negative economic impact on users and communities. Tobacco use costs the state of West Virginia almost $2 billion each year in direct health care costs and loss of productivity. This quote often encouraged me on days I would go home and I would be like, did I really make a difference in the world today? And regardless of what our position is in the healthcare field, we want to go home realizing we've made a difference. When you help someone quit tobacco, you have made a difference to that person, you've helped their family, and you've helped their community. For the poor, which many of our residents in West Virginia are very poor, money spent on tobacco is money not spent on basic necessities such as food, shelter, education, and health care. Tobacco use deprives families of much needed income, imposing additional health care costs. Help your patients help themselves. Use the knowledge of smokeless tobacco that this presentation has given you, and please urge your patients not to start. If they have started, urge them to quit.